Here's a GE AM clock radio from probably the late 50s or early 60s. This was one of the most popular designs of clock radios that GE made. This cabinet style ran from either sometime, like I said, the late 50s or early 60s all the way through the early 1970s. If I recall right, I think they even carried this design over into a solid state sets. It's just a 5-tube AA5 clock radio. I think this one's the model 403B because it's the white one. It's got your typical tube lineup of 12 BE6, BA6, and V6, AV6, 50 C5, and a 35 W4 rectifier tube. I'll demonstrate what the problem is by turning it on. The clock is working. This thing does have the civil defense markings on it, so I would assume it would be no later than the mid-60s or so. And as you can hear, we have our normal filter capacitor hum. This one's got a rear firing speaker on it. And as you can hear, there is several signals coming in, so looks like we've got a pretty good candidate. So let's pull the back off of it and change out that filter cap and see what we got. And here's the radio with the back cover removed. Just a typical 5-tube AA5 radio with a printed circuit board. And we got a decent looking ferrite bar antenna back here. So this set does not incorporate the back of set loop antenna, so this radio may be from the early to mid 60s. That's my guess, but I'm not real sure. Maybe I'll see some date codes once we get further into this. And here's our culprit, one of those cheap General Industries filter capacitors. So it's no surprise this one out. Looks like it had a meltdown on the bottom. So yeah, we're gonna have to get one to replace this thing. Okay, we got it back together, and now we have this.
Amoeba, stuff like that could make you deathly sick.
It's intermittent, but it sounds like SMD to me.
They've been sit around till they've gotten a little bit.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I swear every one of these GEs that I've gotten lately have all had these crappy IF cans. I'm hoping that's what it is, but yet it's not staticking on other parts. It only really shows it when you're picking up a signal.
82.3 and 9. School 833.
Confusion, the lack of detail, and really what we've seen from this administration, and really
Something else our daddy asked us not to do. He told us not to buy homes and not to live
It'll play for a little while and then it'll start staticking.
on a permanent type basis. We're not to
and to the Trump team, including Vice President Pence. President Trump's enemies within the administration continue an unprecedented.
Mama tell you not to do certain things. Some of you, your parents have told you there's certain kind of clothes you are not allowed to wear. Your hair cannot.
Don't need no copyright BS. There goes the staticking again.
Left-wing media, with their non-assault and verbal assault on the president.
There it goes again.
Basis, and it never seems like it's going to end. And what I've been telling people,
It's like an intermittent IF can problem, I believe. It does it with the volume all the way down. You can kind of hear it. It does it every once in a while. I think it's probably got SMD, very early, maybe early stages, I don't know.
every single night, never mind
It's staticking pretty bad. I don't think it's not the volume pot, because you can move that and it didn't really change it. Yeah, it's acting up pretty bad now. See, it statics no matter where you put it on the dial. Yeah, I think we got some more crappy IF cans. Okay, so what I've done, I went ahead and taken the can out and gutted the old capacitor. There it is. And I put me a couple of variable caps on here because I don't have the schematic and I want to see what the value of these things are. So what we're going to do is adjust these out till we get to maximum static and then take them off and read the capacitance. Okay, that's about the max right there. Okay, so variable capacitor number 1, looks like we have about 109, 110 picofarads. And variable cap number 2, about 112, so I'm gonna go with 110s on this one if I have them, and see how it works. And here's a shot of can number 2 gutted out. No capacitor in it now. And we're gonna put our little can back over it and put it back in the radio. Well, we have our IF cans back in and our caps replaced. Radio seems pretty hot.
Man, oh man.
I think a tuning capacitor might be rubbing a little bit.
stay out of that. Golly.
Kind of a freak. I mean, the guy, you know, he reminds you of Randy Johnson. Really. Inside.
Presentation later on that will recount memories from her decades-long career and share her thoughts.
Okay, all back in the cabinet. Got another one working again.
Smart way to always stay focused.
Let's see, sound mostly comes out of the back.
And I think we got them. Did a good job since December 1st, man, of just turning things around. And I had. Facebook Live. Joining the discussion. You.
In February, before the loss of Wake Forest, there were outside.
And signs that make it clear you're being filmed. Barriers like these are meant to stop potential terrorists with a vehicle from driving onto Bourbon Street and killing people, which is what happened last year in Nice, France. Fearing that threat in New Orleans is part of why Mayor Mitch Landrieu is rolling out this plan.
And of course, this is a real challenge for us because we want. A minority to a gay person. If you hear that statement that just might be offensive, what do you...
We've got some good news about that accident on the northbound side of Door Freeway. Right at Briggs Avenue, all lanes are open and traffic is starting to flow. There's still some backup. Folks were saying this for a while, so it's going to take a minute. Those delays on the northbound side still at Cornwallis Road, but from what I can see from the camera, things are really starting to move right at Briggs Avenue, so don't worry, moving soon. That 40 westbound still slowing up a little from 540 through Highway 55. That has actually lightened up some.
Hey, Steve, it's great to talk to you.
Same here, Jim. Thanks.
So it's got a pretty nice hot receive on it. A lot of stuff coming in all across the dial. So yeah, those capacitors, that's another way you can gauge the capacitance on these cans is just put some trimmer caps like the ones I used on there and try and figure it out that way and measure the capacitance on it, and it'll give you an idea of where, you know, what the factory capacitance is supposed to be with it peaked out. But anyway, looks like we got another one playing, and
36 tomorrow night.
thanks for watching.
On Monday, 68, and even warmer still Tuesday.